So last time, we beat a bad guy. We did some awesome fighting moves. Well, some of us did. Some of us were,
I didn't do shit.
yeah, confused and stuck in a space of. It was totally great.
Okay, even if I wasn't, I would have done
Not
the thing.
anticlimactic to a character's story at all.
Hey, you know, we out here.
All I can say is the dice tell a story.
Yeah, for real.
So we in that kind of last moments, however, we were shunted across the world, the continent, and landed in a desert, scattered away from ourselves. Different groups eventually found themselves being either chasing each other, riding a saber-toothed turtle tiger through the deserts.
Hell yeah.
And then eventually being swarmed and surrounded by something called Sirazai, which you found were these massive, arcane, kind of infused sand sharks. Massive kind of creatures, anywhere between 10 and 15 feet long, that were swimming through, jumping, and burrowing through the sand around you, along with what they called themselves the Siltharian Rangers. These group of Siltharian elves riding atop the sand sharks' backs, using strange kind of looking magic items, such as these weird burlap-looking cloaks and hoods, to be able to breathe under the sand as they flow. And that's what they did to you. They covered your heads in these burlap sacks and then sank beneath the sands to a hidden city. Upon entering the hidden city, you guys began marching towards it, following the daughter of the leader, Llewellyn, who was bringing you to go see her father. Not super keen. A lot of them were kind of a little rough. We're like, hey, what are you guys doing here? We're don't want you here.
What are you doing here?
Yeah, and you guys continued on, and then suddenly diverged as Malachi was taken away from you as you guys kept going. And the last thing you heard was when you were being separated. You're like, what's going on here? And Llewellyn looked at you and said, well, we're going to separate his soul from the machinations. And that is where we had left off. However, before there, we're going to backtrack to where we last left Kettle.
Hey.
Kettle, in front of you is a scary-looking woman twirling this deathly-looking, scary object that's making this weird, crazy howling noise. What do you do?
Well, that seems pretty terrifying, so I'm going to just kind of run away from her.
You begin to run, and you feel the ground underneath you begin to rumble and shake. Give me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Yeah, let's do this. With real dice. No regrets.
No regrets.
5.
Suddenly, a giant, what you can only describe as a shark. You've seen sharks before on the shores of Capta and outside and in the libraries around the Magisterium. But it shouldn't be in sand, and it has you by the arm.
Ah!
You take only 6 points of damage as it grabs your arm and begins to kind of pull you under the sand with it.
Inflict wounds.
All right, roll to hit.
That's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off.
27.
20 hits.
Uh, 25 damage.
25 damage. That is enough damage. It breaks its bite, and you're sunk about halfway into the sand.
Oh man, I don't see a way out of this.
It disappears, and the woman approaches you with a curious look on her face. And the woman who approaches you is...
Kettle had the strength to do what we could not. He fought back.
He fought back.
He is.
Inflict
He
wounds is only
Messiah.
for
He does have skill
mercifully
balls after all.
slaughtering things to cook them, by the way.
Lisan al Gaib. Lisan al Gaib.
You see
A new
this
character.
woman. Yes, in characters. I'm going to paste her.
Character.
You see this woman approach.
Ooh, who's that? She's pretty.
Where am I? Why did you attack me?
I was actually trying to win you. The name is Lowelena. Welcome to my home. Well, what was once my home.
What was that horn for?
It was an attempt to distract the Serazai underneath us. That one that attacked you was a... how you say... barbarian? I don't know the correct term, I'm sorry. I don't speak common very often.
That's how you say it,
Oh.
barbarian.
Okay, well, hey, Kettle's gonna hold his arm up, like in a gesture to like, if you're not here to kill me, maybe, help me out of the sand.
Uppies.
Yeah, she goes to help you, and you feel that another familiar rumble again, and you feel something kind of push from underneath you, and another sand shark emerges. This sand shark has a saddle on the back of it with a cloak that's been draped over, and then it kind of swims through the sand and comes to her side, and she kind of strokes it like you would pet a dog.
Ah,
So tell me, little friend, what are you doing all the way out here?
well, I don't know. We were fighting someone, and then all of a sudden I was out in this desert. As he explains, he's gonna just hand some meat to the friendly sand shark.
Sand shark immediately gobbles that up and then looks at you for more.
Because I'm carrying fresh fish. It's been forever, but remember the chest of preserving? Finally useful.
Yeah, finally useful. That shark is now your best friend. She goes, well, you said you were fighting. Did you come from Ross, or that's only sitting nearby here?
Kettle looks around, realizing the scope of how far he's traveled. It's just a desert.
Yeah.
And
You look
it's
around,
like,
just desert.
he's like, it was nowhere near here. Where we were, there were forest and swamp. I don't see anything but sand.
Good then. Would you like to come to camp?
Sure.
By the way, my name is Lowelena. I am the mistress of the Siltharian Rangers. Or
Kettle's gonna take a deep bow and say, and I'm Kettle. I'm a cook.
kind of nods her head and goes, well, I was mistress of the Rangers until I was deposed.
What happened?
I don't rightly know, but there is someone who wears my face in the city.
Oh,
They somehow have managed to worm their way in and have ingratiated themselves with my father, or, well, not ingratiated themselves, but have tricked half the city into thinking that they are me. And so, I no longer go there.
oh. Well, how do you think they were able to take over your life so easily?
I don't know. Not rightly.
Oh,
Foul magics, perhaps. There are things in my memory that have missing. There's easy enough spells to erase memories of things that have happened before. Perhaps I was tricked. Don't know.
oh. Have you seen anyone else around that appeared suddenly?
Oh yes, actually, there was a hired-looking man who I was actually going to head towards, and then I realized that you would poofed near me. But yeah, he was over there. And as she points, you kind of look into the distance and see that there is a man who is kind of walking alone, and a saber-toothed tiger with a big turtle shell that is now sprinting towards that individual, and somebody on the creature's back, and they are running the opposite direction of you.
They're running the opposite direction?
Yeah.
Oh,
They're
goodness.
they're probably they're quite a bit away as well. They're not close.
Oh, no. I think those are some of my friends.
Oh.
I wonder where they could be going.
Don't know. But we can go try to catch them, or we can go to my camp. There are a few rangers who have followed me.
Well,
They don't this new Lowellana that exists.
the Kettle looks down at his squat body. I don't think I'd be able to catch them if they were running away from me. I guess I can join you in your camp.
That is not the problem. And she mounts up onto the saddle of the sand shark, grabs you, hoists you, throws you behind her, pulls the cloak over yourselves, which is more like a kind of almost like a blanket, or like one of the, like a poncho almost, but it's made of burlap or burlap material. And the next thing you know is you are under the sand,
Oh,
moving very fast, very fast.
how
Probably
fun!
fastest you've ever traveled, other than the teleportation you guys just went through. It doesn't take too long, and you guys resurface again. And looking forward, you now see that your compatriots are surrounded by sand sharks and ragers.
Oh, what's going on here?
Awelana slows the sand shark and looks. Well, this is no good. It seems that the others have wandered a bit too close to the city. Come, we will meet them in the city. But I will not show my face. And she goes like this, and her face changes completely.
Oh, what should I call you?
Don't worry about it. Just
Okay.
call me Call me Zelia. Well,
Zaria. Okay.
and you dive beneath the sand once more. And we will fast back forward. As Kettle, you are now cooking food on the side. You managed to beat your friends. Zelia is very quick, knows this area is like the back of her hand. And she beats everybody else back to the city. And you guys begin to set up, and you're cooking food for 3 or 4 rangers. And these rangers, they have the same sand sharks and things that you're sitting kind of on the outskirts of camp. And one thing that you've noticed is they all carry a very small kind of golden brooch that matches perfectly with one of Zelia's signet rings that she wears.
Interesting.
And then your friends begin walking into the city, and you see Malachi being led the opposite direction as everybody else is beginning to walk in.
I need you to know that your experience was so much better than ours.
Who's? Oh, Kettles.
Yeah, you had the like first class experience.
They were mean to us.
I got drugged by my motherfucking Nate by a tortoise tiger
Yeah, getting
and knocked in the sand like 5 times.
A chortle?
Yeah, the torta tiger.
Torta tiger.
Tortiger?
Carried him by his nape.
Kettle has only 2 useful combat actions left. But
One of them
Yeah.
is cook.
It's
Let him
worked
cook.
every time so far.
Yeah.
Yes.
Honestly, yeah.
Let him cook.
The best.
good thing he's got some fresh meat for these sharks.
Malachi.
Uh-oh.
Hey kid, how about you take back over? I'm not the kind to deal with people, especially when they're talking about ripping the souls out of people's bodies. So we'll try to figure something else out.
Yeah, they're gonna do what now?
And then immediately gets shunted back into your body.
Say, huh?
So you're
What's going on?
obviously you're somewhat aware of what's going on a little bit. Like you
Right.
know where you're at. You're in the desert. You're
I was
this cool
backseat
city
passenger.
in front of you. However, the news of your body being shunted away, that's new.
It's a good thing you didn't hear what Gideon said. He was like, "Hey, I appreciate it, homies."
Oh yeah, and your friends are kind of farther away. So like, as you're being led further and further away.
I'd like to talk about this real quick. This is not a good idea. I need this body. I have a mission. I need to save people. Please do please do not do what you're thinking of doing. Please.
You see a few of them kind of slow down and they start muttering to themselves.
Without this body, I can't do what I'm supposed to do.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh,
Persuasion. Okay. All right. Let's see. Which die? You. Oh, okay. 13.
Kind of furrow their brow a little bit. Well, I suppose Marshall would like to see everybody.
I am part of everybody. They do need me. And there's all sorts of other innocent people out there that need me too. I can't go yet.
Well, perhaps information. Yes. You seem an honest sort of machine. Or soul in
Name
machine.
drop.
My name is Malachi.
Malachi. Tell
A
me,
pleasure.
what are this group's intentions with the city?
We just showed up We were somewhere far, far away, and by some magical means, we found ourselves in this desert. We were surrounded. Right. Well, and I mean, you kind of know the rest. Can we go back to my friends here?
To give you the same line that everybody uses. Just happen to exist around.
I know it sounds kind of crazy, but
Crouch kind of, and then you feel Crouch come in. He's like, they tried that.
Oh,
They're
did you?
kind of a
Alright.
little stuck up. Yeah, they've done it all.
Alright,
It's kind of
well,
annoying, actually, how much they just don't believe Jack.
Listen, I understand you guys don't necessarily have outsiders very often, but we have good intentions. At least we have good intentions. There's no at least. We're not here to hurt anybody or destroy anything or anything like that. We just need to get back to where we were. Believe it or not, that's the honest truth.
The outsiders, they always say the same things. The last outsiders said the same things right before they murdered the Lord's wife and daughter.
I'm so sorry that happened. We're
Effectivement. And they begin to continue to lead you towards kind of the side of the city.
how many of them are on me?
Only 2.
I really don't want to have to come to this. I really don't. Please take me back to my friends. We're not here.
Are you trying to persuade them or intimidate them now?
I'm trying to intimidate. Like,
Roll an intimidation. And with intimidation, because not everybody does it this way, but with intimidation, you can either use charisma or you can use strength.
I would prefer strength in this aspect. So basically, I'm starting to resist, and yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you can make that a fair assumption that you're using strength there.
Yeah.
So.
18.
18. So you just say, "I'm not going further," and they go to move you, and then they realize,
statue still.
This is like a big giant statue of armor that's really heavy, and they're like,
I will not ask again. We are not here to hurt anybody.
Kind of like straighten themselves. Fine, you can go see High Marshal, but it's not because you said so.
Of course, I understand completely.
Right.
Thank you very much.
It's not because, like you said, it's because we want you to.
Because I want to take you to Marshall.
Start doing this again as you notice Malachi, they are starting to lead you back towards the group. There is some shouts in Elvish that you don't understand. Kettle.
Yeah.
You understand exactly what they're saying.
Oh.
This language, you know. And the basic gist of this conversation as they're shouting is, what are you doing coming back? Take him to the smithery. Say, no, the High Marshal will want to see him as well. He's using the same line as the rest. Fine, bring him with us.
Oh. I'm gonna try to follow them.
You feel, as soon as you try to start walking forward, you feel a hand grasp your shoulder, and then Zeria leans down. No, my friend. We wait from distance. Do not worry. We will make sure your friends are okay. They're going to see my father first.
Oh. He's gonna shift uncomfortably. Well, it's not like I could fight all these people myself, I guess.
Yes. Most people who live here are fighters. It wouldn't just be the guards that can fight. Anyway, let us watch and follow. But at a safe distance. And you see her look over and nod, and those couple figures almost very quickly disappear and begin blending in with the crowd as you guys are starting to enter the edge of the border of the city. For the rest of you, ahead of Kettle, Malachi has joined you again.
Oh, you're back. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I am required by this Lord Marshal, as we all are. So, for right now, I'm okay. They couldn't move me.
Yeah, they said they were going to separate your soul.
Yeah, that's
something.
kind of why I popped back.
You didn't
Oh.
want to.
My other
be put in a
passenger.
body?
Well, that's the thing. I don't know if that's necessarily what would have happened, and I need this body, not a different body. This body is what's meant to do what I'm supposed to do.
I mean, wouldn't that be not so much of a bad thing? Getting a real body back?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
You're
On their
a
own
real
terms, of course.
boy.
You could finally have your wings back.
Oh,
That's how-
wink. All right.
Sure, he might not be a.
I'm not quite, but no,
You sure?
this is the body that I need.
Oh.
Well,
for
Okay,
my
so you
purpose.
say so.
Regardless, happy to have you back.
Piece
Yes, happy to have you back. The other one was a little bit.
Yeah, I bet he was. I bet he was, especially towards you. Nothing personal.
That was nothing but a gentleman.
Okay, well, I believe. No, yeah, you're right.
If it's not too much to ask, at some point, maybe not currently, could someone remind me what happened the past couple hours?
We fought the man and the lady in the courtyard.
Maybe not currently, given the circumstances of,
Yeah.
the surroundings, but...
Well, I mean, he
maybe
blew up and then
private-
we ended up here. That's about it.
I think we all might be a little addled.
As you're
Confused.
walking through the city,
Yes.
you see around you the clothing, while set to be very desert-like clothing, right? Lighter clothes, silks, and things that are going to be more just kind of light to the body, and then with the occasional kind of cloth and linen to accent it. The clothing itself, the colors and the style are all very old. Nothing from the modern era that you're in now, or at least while the clothing is similar, right? Cloaks and tunics and stuff. The styles themselves are old. And you also notice that almost everybody is looking in your direction as you're walking. Now, they're maintaining a distance, but they're all looking at these outsiders walk through the city.
Did we?
Is it
Were we?
morning or is it night?
What's that, Arcadius?
Were we disarmed? By the way, I don't know if you ever said that. Okay.
You were not disarmed.
Okay.
It was just highly implied to not do anything stupid. You wouldn't last very long.
Yeah, I was asked to come out of my cat form.
Yeah. Again,
Is it morning or is it night?
it is dawn.
Okay.
Although here underground, I know the picture is like really light and stuff. It's actually somewhat dark. Looks like this city is probably in darkness a lot of the time. But there is some artificial lights and things. That is probably why these people aren't drow-like. That is one thing you'll notice. They don't have that kind of darker, kind of ghostly, pale, skin that drow have. It's still more kind of rugged, sun-kissed looking, kind of blending with the desert and the surroundings around them. You also see that it's not just elves that are here. There are humans, there are dwarves, there are dragonborn, there are people of all races and lineages and the like that exist here in the city.
Are we passing any food stalls?
There are a few.
Alright, the first one we pass, I'm going to take a few steps towards with interest.
When you start taking a couple steps forward, you see a few of the guards that are around you kind of like, if you're here and you move this way, they kind of move like this to kind of pincer you back, and then they just gently kind of walk, forcing you back into the group of friends.
Excuse me. Excuse me. It smells good. No. Hey. Oh.
One of the elves look back towards Hattie. Yes, yes, Ron. And one of them chuckles. Hey, human. Better keep your friend in line. Gonna have a roast pelican for dinner.
It's a harder ass than you might think, but we'll try. She kind of shoots Skirt a look.
Couple of other
They
ones.
say we're roasting.
Couple of other ones when they're talking, you hear, even in their language, you hear Aarakocra a few times through a couple of the other guards, and they kind of chuckle afterwards.
Don't worry about it, honey.
Kettle, can you roll a perception check for me?
Absolutely. Dun, 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 dun. 22.
Nice.
You are close enough to hear what they were saying, and basically saying the first guard had said, if this bird doesn't keep in line, I'm going to shank him.
Is this Elvish?
It is not Elvish.
Okay.
Since I rolled high
it's
last time and
the-
understood the base, do I get
You
any of
know-
this?
No, because they are speaking quickly.
Ah, okay.
In a different, yeah. You get a few words, but not enough to string it together.
Did I get shank?
Yeah, actually, I would say you get shanked. Yeah. And then afterwards, when they were all kind of laughing and chuckling, they were saying, "I've never had roast Aarakocra before. Might be good."
I don't like this place, Miss Hattie.
Don't eat sentient things.
I'm talking to
Can
the
I
one that
do-
eats cats.
Can I do some sort of check to try to remember the path we are being led down?
Yeah, you can make an intelligence check, or
Let me barter a
say,
survival
like,
check.
take survival as well. Yeah, I would take intelligence or survival because you're trying to memorize a path.
I'd like to
So-
do that too. I feel like as an archer, I'd be wanting to do that, or a ranger.
Yeah, you can go ahead and do it.
Oh, fuck me, man. Hell yeah. That's a sick natural one.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
mine.
Yeah, brother. Maybe it's because he said he eats cats.
Can anyone guess
Yeah.
what mine is?
Is it also a 1?
It has a 1 in it.
11. 21.
21! I got the first one this fucking session.
So yeah, with the 21, you're doing a pretty good job memorizing the route you're taking. There are not too many twists and turns as you're going through. There is one kind of thing that does stick out to you as you are walking up. There is a very large building that has been blackened and charred and burned to the ground near where you're getting to, where in the center of the city. It is collapsed in on itself. Beams are shattered and broken. And you see anybody that is walking near this building, they give it a respectful distance and a almost treat like this is a site of honor. Even the guards around you kind of lower their gaze slightly as they are walking past it towards another building.
I'll do the same, except I'll just side eye it to get all that in. Like that. Just
Can Mina do a... Oh, sorry.
What'd you say?
Can Mina do a perception check to maybe see if she can gauge anything different about this place from the others, or at least glean something of like, okay, this is special. Why?
I'd like to do the same, but like culturally, see if there's anything that I could pick up to use in the coming parlay or in talks or investigation on us. Just anything that would help to be like, you know, common thread or anything like that. Do I need to roll above my passives?
I would say yes. This is a bit more difficult.
It's pretty obscure, yeah.
Yeah, this is an obscure location.
Okay.
So for me, I got a 19.
19 in your perception. So on your perception, from what you can kind of tell, is this wasn't like the way the building came down. It came down in a almost orderly fashion. It wasn't like a random house fire broke out and the building burned to the ground. This was almost intentionally destroyed so that it collapsed in itself in a specific way without damaging buildings next to it. That's kind of the biggest thing you get from it. Other than that, there's not a lot to go off of. It's very old. But then again, a lot of the buildings here are very old. So you can tell it's kind of probably roughly the same age as the buildings that were around it. And then when we
Can you tell if it is a recent destruction?
No, this is a quite old destruction. You know, few thousand years or so.
15 investigation.
Probably about 1,000 years. 15 on the cultural
investigation. Yeah, I'm just trying to find basically like customs, anything I could pick up on to help the situation a little.
Not a whole lot. Around this specific site, you can tell it's not a religious thing. It's more of like an honorific to an individual or individuals. But it's not religious. It's not like it was a temple or, you know, something like that, and that's why they're respectful.
Memorial type thing.
Yeah. And then, but as far as the people that are around you, the biggest ones you can get kind of a close eye on are the guards. They're staying very stoic and rigid, and so you're not getting a lot off of them. And the people themselves, while they all are staring at you, they're not doing anything. Like you come into the like the, you know, it's like that view of
bystanders.
We come into the shot, and then they're just bystanders, just
staring at us,
staring at you. So, I mean, other than the fact they like to stare, which you can probably see is probably
watchers.
A cultural thing, is more of a, hey, look at the new people in town.
Yeah, these are strangers. Yeah.
Yeah. So with the 15, you don't get a whole lot more than that.
Understandable.
I will say though, with that 15, you will catch there is no religious iconography in it.
That was going to be one of my questions. Yeah. 'Cause I figured no, since you didn't say anything directly, but
there is no religious iconography that you can tell. So, which, to be fair, doesn't mean it's not there. It's just not where you're at.
It'd either be agnostic or they just hide it or have certain places. Yeah.
Yep. Llewellyn looks at you all. We're almost there now. We're almost to see my father. The High Marshal would know what to do. Most likely execution, but who knows? Perhaps he has a kind heart in his old age.
Now you keep saying likely execution. Why? We haven't even done anything. What about innocent until proven guilty?
Well, I mean, that works that way here. Also, we don't need to rule out execution as a resolve. I mean, some of us might get benefit of that.
Arcadius just nods, kind of like.
I could see that.
Especially given current circumstances, I think I may take that decision.
You're very odd.
I've been told as such, but I don't seem to quite know why. I find myself quite humorous.
You don't think you're weird?
No. In fact, I seem to be the most normal of all of us. Outside skirt, of course.
Considering your company.
Thank you.
Audible gasp. Just
This has been an enlightening day already.
Yes, same for me. Outsiders, very strange. Jump then, a little bit ahead. That building there, and you see a kind of marble building, but it's not like a ostentatious marble. It's like marble was the stone they had to use at the time, and that's what they did with it. It's not grand or this, super crazy. It doesn't have columns upon columns and an amphitheater. It's just kind of a building that happens to be made of marble. And as you approach, you see more of the guards. However, these individuals wear kind of this chainmail hauberk with tabard over top and a belt tie. These falchions to their side. They're dressed different than the Rangers enough that you can tell that these are probably more like city guardsmen, or what you would consider to be city guard, than the kind of Ranger classification. The Rangers are dressed in like lighter kind of armor. These guys are more heavily armed comparatively. And they give a salute as Lowellena walks right past you, or right past them, leading you into the courtyard of this towards this building. And Kettle behind, you feel another shoulder and kind of pulls you to the side. Well, so looks like the other me has brought them to my father, as I said. Now, we could perhaps get inside and hear. I know some of the ways. I did grow up in the house. How quiet are you?
I can try.
Clank, clank, clank.
Clink, 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 clink.
Stealth plus
All the
one.
popping pans.
Only one.
The walking kitchenware.
It doesn't fill me with a great confidence. Do you know, or do you have anything of your friends?
Oh,
An item or clothing?
let's look. Well, nothing that belongs to them, but I always carry all sorts of utensils they've all used. Does that help?
Perhaps. Quick. And she brings her, I can't do it, so I'm not going to, but brings her her thumb and her middle finger together, and one of those figures from earlier. Are you gonna do it?
But he's muted.
No. Oh, he's muted. Okay.
my wife tried to teach me I can do it like every 10th try.
Yeah. So just sit there and try it 10 times, and then one time it'll work. I've tried so bad. Hey, there we go.
See? It's hard.
I can't. But one of those figures comes by, and you guys kind of go to the side. The individual lays out this small little bowl, pours some water inside of it from a flask, grabs the spoon or fork or knife, and kind of concentrates for a moment. And then you get sucked in. Well, actually, hold on. Who would it be? Let's roll. Hey, cool. Mina, can you roll a wisdom saving throw, I think?
Wisdom saving throw. Oof. 8.
I think it's wisdom.
You're right back.
So they get a +5. Okay. Yeah. Kettle left, but he is now looking over the shoulder of Mina.
Well,
As you enter the building. You are brought in and staged in a few separate rooms, mainly because some of the side rooms are too small to hold all of you, at least in this location. Probably larger rooms further on, but this is kind of like the mud room and some offshoots to it. So they split you into two groups, where one group is
Returned.
you were the scry was successful and you were looking over Mina's shoulders now. But one
Oh.
group is Munghop, Arcadius, Hattie, and the other group is Gideon, Mina, Skirt, and Malachi. And you're kind of just been separated, waiting probably for the kind of the audience, if you will.
Or she's gonna do your whistle for you. Do it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
oh,
There you go. Yeah, that one.
I wish I could do that.
it's like a hawk.
I'm learning.
Capture that recording and play it when he goes and tries to do it.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Way out of sync.
Yeah.
Or whenever Scarlet gets hit, then play it.
Yeah.
Yeah, anytime Skirt comes in, it's just that whistle.
Looking
So
at
what do you
Arcadius and
guys-
Hattie, you think they separated us because they think we're the most dangerous?
Absolutely. We're gonna be the hardest ones to crack. They just want to have one go at it and not waste their time, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I have a funny feeling Gideon might be pretty easy right now.
No. He seems a little off, right? He must
Yeah.
It just must be that he didn't get to see what's his name blow up.
Grisha.
Yeah.
He does seem wobbly.
He's a very sad man.
I mean, it's understandable given his ailment.
Agreed.
True. Might be a little more than that, though.
I mean,
Seems kind of upset with us.
I can sympathize with it though, in my own way.
Yeah?
If they're just a room over, could we hear them?
No.
Could he just been in there like,
Mad
Okay,
shit.
okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
The doors are shut. Yeah, the doors are shut.
Just Gideon stared at the doorway like, I'm right here. What the fuck?
just dead silent, just staring back at everybody as they're just talking shit out of him. He's just like,
Well,
shaking his head.
I did
while I have
my
you,
sorry.
you're good. While I have you here, Miss Hattie, do you care to tell me how you saw the end of Soair one more time?
It's a
Arcadius
bit
just like,
fuzzy.
what the fuck are y'all talking about?
What? What'd you say?
Honestly, it's hard. You know? You see things you're not supposed to see when it comes to gods. But I'm not sure, you know?
But you feel as what you saw was definitive. Correct.
I believe so. Like I said, it's difficult to recall something like that.
Um,
Why?
if you if you want help recalling, I do have some dust I carry with me.
Oh.
I use it myself to never forget. But I only ask because upon arriving here, I was given another vision in which a figure who would not reveal itself to me, but was very cryptic about being locked away and using the moon, both moons, as symbolism. And as soon as I muttered her name, I was pulled out.
I mean, that seems to be pointing in all the directions you're thinking. Gods are funny things. They aren't taken out so easily. What are you trying to not forget, might I ask?
It's a hard one to answer.
I forgot.
No.
I forgot.
No, I remember.
Hmm.
You all found me wandering, and there's a good reason for that. I no longer have a home. My home was burnt to a crisp with nothing remaining. And I have zero answers.
You don't know what happened? All of
I-
a sudden it was just gone?
I was always tasked with resource procurement. Anything the clan needed. I was the one. I practically never stayed at home. And just it was a normal everyday hunt. I came back to nothing. No family, no remains, no signs, nothing. I have a reoccurring vision that I wish to not forget, and that is of moss.
Moss.
What am I supposed to do with that?
I feel like I should disclose something. You remember how you asked me about the moss? And for some reason, it just happens to be the moss that Zeus was looking for. The night I met y'all, that first night in the tavern, something appeared to me. I'm not familiar with gods. I'm sorry, I couldn't be more descriptive. It was a man, it was a woman, it was something in between. It told me I was supposed to help you.
This is why I asked. The same figure that would not reveal itself to me told me that you had the answer.
See what I can do. There's not a lot I remember before I was brought back, but I will do what I can to help you. I know that these creatures that they ride are the same ones that the despoiler mentioned, their nests, where the moss is. I don't know what to do with it, what it's even for, but if we're here, we could get some.
I mean, can you trust this thing that gave you this information?
It didn't
It
hurt
could
me.
just be leading y'all to something dangerous.
This is why I asked if what you felt was definitive. Because I have my visions that I can only trust so much. And so far, this is the first time anything from my visions has panned out for me with Arcadius's new revelation. But
What does your dust do?
it just allows me to essentially replay the same vision that came to me that same night.
What would it do for someone like me?
It's a good question, Rayson. What would it do for somebody else?
Well, it depends on who takes it.
I just hold my
I
hand
guess
out.
Yeah, in my situation, it's like my most traumatic memory vision. So I'll hand you the bag.
What do I do with it?
Ignored it.
Yeah, open it and just take a whiff of the dust.
On the gum
Oh.
line.
I'll take a pinch out of it
Pure
and then
blood.
hand the bag to Hattie too, in case she wanted to do what he was saying as well, or try
You're
to.
about to go. You're about to,
Just walk into the other room. We're like, oh, what's
you're
up,
about to
dude?
trip balls before we meet the Lord Marshal.
Inhale
This
the
smells
druid's
clean.
dust.
What happened in here?
I only have a few headings, and this is one of them. If it can help
Hattie will-
you, I'll do it.
She'll just push his hand back to Munghop.
Okay, I'll just.
I'm not really sure about this stuff.
I just give a
Is that
shrug.
everyone?
I just give a little shrug and
And immediately, just
fuck.
Going on a spirit journey, my dude. Get ready.
Okay.
He just hits the floor.
Well,
Oh, yeah,
I
I
literally
probably
have
should've warned
one
you about
goal
that part.
right now outside of helping y'all. It's to help Munghop, and a fucking figure told me to. So
Arcadius. You're 13 again,
this is all new.
sitting inside your childhood home with her. She looks and smiles. Hi, Arcadius. Play. Said you were going to teach me again.
This is a memory, right? Not just something I'm seeing
Yes,
third
this is a
person.
memory. Yeah, this is a memory. And you smile and, all right. And you see yourself go, and the door opens. And you're no longer 13. You're a teenager. 18, 19 years old, probably. There is blood splattered on the door frame. And you're staring out. Silhouetted by fire in the background as the town burns. You have blood streaked down your face. And you're staring at your hands covered in blood. Arcadius. And you're awake again. Sitting in front of Hattie and Munghop.
How was it?
What'd you say?
All memory. And like his eyes are welling up.
Not a good one.
Yes and no. I saw my childhood. I had a sister.
These are memories that you didn't have prior.
No. She's no longer with us. And he just goes quiet. Like, he doesn't want to say anything else.
And you start looking, when you go into that kind of almost semi-fugue state, you look towards the door, and you see the small blue cat. Looks over, cocks its head. Meow. Before phasing through the door.
You got Schrodinger's cat.
I'm just staring at the
Yeah.
door. Like, go quiet, stare at the door.
Mina, skirt, Malachi.
There was nothing that could help you, Monghop, by the way. Nothing that I could recall, I'm sorry.
What is the other group doing?
Also getting high. Yeah.
Standing in the corner like a goon.
Well, they left us with our weapons, so that's helpful, but I don't know how we would get out of a place like this.
Well, we just gotta hope that the Lord Marshal is benevolent today.
Yeah, I
I'm
am
not-
filled with confidence from their descriptions.
I can't go just yet. Nah, I just found a purpose. Not going out like this.
It would be most
I would have to
unfortunate.
agree.
What was that, Skirt?
Said it would be most unfortunate for it to end this way.
Right. Gideon, you wanted us to get you up to speed, no?
Yes, if you don't mind.
Well, I think, if I remember correctly, we came across... Oh, fudge. What is his name again? I have notes for this very reason.
Grisha.
Yes. We came across Grisha, and you conversed with them, and when things started to get heated, we started to attack, but it seems like they did some sort of mind manipulation spell on you and on Hattie, and kind of put you both out of commission. We
That
were
is a
able
wise
to...
tactic. Did that prevent
Yes.
Hattie from doing anything rash?
Yes. We were able to get Grisha pretty beaten up, and at the climax, Mahavel did something to him. He turned into some form of abomination, and
Mahavel betrayed Grisha.
It was more like his purpose
Well-
had been fulfilled.
In what way?
yes.
She kind of turned him inside out.
Well, suppose that is one of the things that we all wish that happened to him, so that's fitting.
Fitting if not grotesque. But
I can't help but feel that Hattie would be disappointed and probably enraged by that.
probably
She was, but she got him.
In
When I
what
woke
way?
in this, when I woke in the sand, there Grisha was.
With you.
Yes,
In this plane.
yes. Not anymore.
Go on.
Well, she pulled out a scroll, and he became dust.
Disintegrated.
Yes, that word.
Did she say anything?
I'm sure she did.
Do you not recall?
I do not.
For one such elegant in language and art, I would expect that you could recall, so that would mean that something would have prevented you from doing so.
Well, I was kind of focused on not dying.
Oh yeah, you are pretty hurt. I'm actually pretty hurt right now.
Oh, you don't say.
Back
A little
on.
bit rough.
Still pretty hurt.
I had just the
1
thing.
HP.
1 moment. Let me
So around
prepare.
this time, you notice that both of you, the people in the room with you, don't look so good.
Yeah, well, you're in the right room with the right person. Well,
Wonderful.
firstly, I'd like to apologize for not being there for you in my unfortunate state, which I think is carried on to this current moment. My mind is not very well intact, and there are many things going on. I currently find myself battling with a seething test of the gods and faith, and hatred creeps at the doors of my mind. If you could forgive me. That aside, I
Putting
would
hatred
also like
aside.
to apologize for letting you get that close to death. I should be the one that would be that close.
Dude,
Oh,
you are being mind controlled. Give yourself a break.
Well, that's not an excuse. I'm a defender of the people, and you are my people, so
So
it's
you just
only fair.
exclusively- It's
Say yours, you say
That
sorry.
doesn't make any damn sense, Mr. Gideon. If you're mind controlled, how could you possibly how could you blame yourself? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, the
Thank
lack of
you.
action is probably the worst evil deed that most could do. But I will
Mind
try
control. What do you not comprehend?
most of it, I'm afraid. All that magic nonsense doesn't make sense to me, and the things we've led into don't make sense to me, but I'm trying to keep my, no pun intended, composure. But, please,
How's that a pun?
well, decomposure, of course.
Ah!
Sorry.
And speaking of, here, please. And I'm gonna cast some heals. 1 sec.
Please.
Hold for heals?
Gideon's
While
Any
you-
tired dad.
Yeah, for real.
while you heal, the doors open, and there stands Loelena. All right, father's ready to see you. Follow the guards, please.
Thank you, ma'am.
10 for skirt, 6
Yeah.
for, or sorry, 8 for Amy, for Mina.
As you guys go back, Loelena takes up the rear, following at like kind of behind you guys.
Is this all of us or just their room?
Yeah, all of you. Both rooms open back up again. I need to see something real quick. Mina, what's your passive perception?
20.
Jesus.
I'm right behind her at 19.
Oh shit.
Yeah, well, I got 12.
I got 11. Oh, sorry. 10.
Oh, mine's 14.
Mina and Gideon both see Loelena place a hand on Hattie's shoulder, and kind of give a small shove almost before walking away. And as you enter the chamber, Loelena moves around you, and you now see, as it opens up, a man sitting upon a chair, slumped to the side slightly, pale in color, white hair. I see we have... I'm sorry, I would normally stand, but I've been tired of late. We have intruders to our land. I am High Marshal Terexash. What say you?
Hello, my name is You can call me Scott.
I am Gideon Luma, Servitor of Caesari. We unfortunately find ourselves as transplants in this realm of yours, unwarranted by some magic.
Mina will step forward and do a slight curtsy. Mina.
I'm Hattie Hadley.
My name is Malachi Walker, Paladin of Zekra. Yes, sir.
Sister of Uza.
The same.
And you, pale one.
Oh, I'm sorry. What? My name Arcadius. I'm Arcadius Darrow.
And why have you entered my lands?
Magic fuckery that brought us here against our will.
Said roughly, of course. Truth be that we were battling some unfortunate woes and found ourselves here. I don't recall much, but I was caught up to speed. And an ill-fortune villain had set upon us this land, unwarranted, as I said before, somehow through some type of magic. We come not to trespass, of course, but find ourselves trespassing nonetheless.
The troubles of the surface and the other mortal races are no concern to us. And he raises his hand. And before Llewellyn steps forward, Father, perhaps before we execute them, perhaps they could be of service to us. They know much of what's going on currently.
You could also just let us go.
Well, we have some intimate allies that you socially are aware of, I believe, in the name of Cord.
At that, Terexash sits up. What do you know of Curran?
Well, we've recently found ourselves in a battle between forces of good and questionable evil, I would say. That has brought a blight upon this land and has led an item or artifact into their hands, unfortunately, due to our mishandling.
You mishandled one of the chaos. And he stands up. And as he stands up, the kind of cloak, almost like blanket, like, you know, like when you see like somebody who's older, they're always cold, so they always have like those blankets. That's kind of what he had, and as he's pushing himself up, it falls away, and you see burnt charcoal black armor, scale mail armor with kind of this vibrant green pattern that swirls and follows it. And to this point, if anybody had forgotten, as a reminder, you did see a memory of this exact man, albeit a slightly younger man. But Terexash was the High Marshal that served with Curran in that vision you've seen.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
And some of you guys, I think, did remember that, but just...
I would say that name is ringing a bell.
Yeah, and he stands up, and you see on one side, he has this small wand with this amber lens inside of it. Kind of like, it's like almost like a magnifying glass look, right? But instead of the amber lens being like a focal point that is held by thin kind of brass wires, if you will. Like it's not like it's the shape of a it's a little bit, you know, it's wonky. You get it.
Kind of like an old style microphone.
Almost, yeah, like one of those old timey radio microphone kind of things. Yeah, exactly that. And then on his other hip, he's carrying a scimitar. So, Curran's still alive, then?
Yes.
Though wounded.
Wounded, you say?
The battle did take a toll on him, yes. There was, they were captured for quite some time, him and his party. And they unfortunately have lost some members in this adventure.
I know not. I've had no communication with Curran for, well, Master Caranthalos for some time.
He does seem a man of subterfuge.
Why do I need to be or play subterfuge when I hold all the power in this city?
Well, I mean, Corrin, of course, he seems a man of subterfuge,
Oh.
or maybe out of necessity, he seems to blend with the shadows when need be or disappear. We've actually had him quite do that to us a few times, unfortunately.
Very good at that. Lawalana! And she looks, yes, father? Let's see to them that they are housed properly. I grow weary again. And Llewellyn carefully lowers Tarek's Ash back into a chair and hands him a small cup of tea that he sips on.
Does he look normally weary as
can I
an
do a
old
medicine?
person?
Yeah, or is it age or?
Yeah, you can make a medicine and a perception check.
Oh, damn, that's a 25.
25.
16.
16.
Yes, sí.
So 16, he does look like he's aged.
Yes.
With a 25 medicine check. It is not age. This man is not only an elf, he's a death elf. They live for an incredibly long time. In fact, they used to be immortal up until a few hundred years ago. Something else is wrong. He does look ill. And he kind of drinks down that tea. Ugh. Disgusting stuff.
We are extremely grateful for your accommodation, and I don't wish to press, but there is a burning question on my mind as a man, both man of the cloth and previous medicinal care. Do you require any assistance? I would like to, of course, contribute, if you wouldn't mind, and assist where we can. Being as we are trespassing, it'd be only a favor. The least I could do.
There is most likely nothing you can do, as this is disease born of sand fleas and insects. Tends to be resistant to magic.
Have you tried medicinal ways of the wild?
He nods and he's pointing at the cup of tea. Every day. 3. How much is it, Llewellyn? 3 pots, father. 3 pots. Kettles, whatever you call them. I'd much rather have coffee.
You have been here for a very long time, I would presume. Why is this new for you?
That was my question. How long has this affliction been upon you?
2 weeks, 3 weeks. Kettle, this is where you hear Llewellyn next to you go, about around the same time I was taken out by the fake one.
Oh.
Because you guys are still scrying on this whole conversation.
Interesting.
About 3 weeks. It's nothing new. We have people die from it from time to time. It is a desert after all.
And I will take your word for that. But
Sounds like
should
you're-
you need anything and I could be of assistance, I would be glad to help to ease any type of pain or suffering you may be inflicted with.
Seems like you're being well taken care of.
And Gideon starts slowly cutting eyes at everybody. Like something's afoot here.
A game is the foot.
He's like, I'm going to stay quiet and keep this to us, but I got something to talk about in a bit.
Well, Walena nods towards you, Hattie, and goes, "Well, he is my father, and the only one I would get. So I try. She is a good daughter. Very proud.
Such
As
a
you should
nice daughter, constantly saying you'd kill us.
But I suppose it's only customary.
She learns from the best.
Well, she did save our lives, so I'm grateful. Thank you.
Same.
After she said she was going to kill us so many times.
Clock me on the head real quick. Shut up.
Hello, Walena.
What's the shit?
My charisma is low.
Yeah, right? I'm going to, I think, retire early for the evening. I apologize that I am not able to see you more honored guests, I suppose. If you work with Corin, then you have a place here. Welcome to Lost. There
No
we
problem.
have two main rules. Listen to what you're told, basically. But the two things is be useful, be kind, and the unwritten rule, pay homage to the Manor House. The Walena will show you. And with that, the guards kind of make ways and kind of not telling you to leave per se.
But you can't stay here.
Yeah.
But you did
don't
get hit
have
in the
to
back
go
of the head
home.
with a spear staff. Just
Yeah.
Get Eddie.
You don't have to stay here. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Stay here, yeah.
And Lewalena also begins to move out of the thing. And it's at that time, Kettle, that the scry ends. And the real Lewalena stands there. That dirty bitch. Do you see what I mean, little friend?
Do I understand what she's insinuating about? Like, you mean because she's probably poisoning her dad?
Or just the fact that her dad is doting over not her.
Yeah, not her.
Oh, yeah. Swing and a miss.
Bad
Close.
days.
I mean,
Maybe-
Kettle can make that assumption. Kettle
Maybe-
is the cook.
Maybe there's some way we can fix this? Doesn't seem right.
I think we would probably need to get to your friends, but somehow convince your friends that I'm the real Lewalena.
Well, I don't see any reason to doubt you. You did save me.
But they might doubt you. You don't doubt me, but they may.
I mean, it seems you treat people a lot better than they do.
I like to protect my people. I'm no murderer. When you murder a bunch of people, it tends to draw too many questions and eyes. People tend to send soldiers and armies. Most of the time, you just let them go by.
Well, let's join them. I'm glad they're all okay.
You can join them, my friend. I am going to find an old friend. One of the lieutenants in the army. He may be able to help me.
Oh, okay.
I will meet
Well-
up with you tonight.
Oh, I'll see you there.
And
I'll cook you something.
She points to the cracked, broken, burned down house, and then kind of moves her finger like this. There. Do you see that small outcropping in the rocks? And you do.
Oh, yes.
If you shift that small panel, it's not a real rock. You can move it to the side. It will take you down to a Siltharian nest. We'll meet you there.
Oh, okay. He's gonna look around and like commit where it is to memory.
Not too hard. It's right next to the burned down house.
Nice.
And then, almost swiftly, he disappears. There is, you feel that there is a few of those broached individuals that are hanging out with you as well. But I'm assuming you go to join them, correct? Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Or, okay. So you start heading up. They're a little ways away, so it'll take you a little while to get there. The rest of you guys are coming out of the building. Lowellena is leading you forward. Well, it's very good that Father saw the good thing. Sorry to have made you nervous.
Protecting your homestead. I understand.
Of course. But...
Can't hear you.
Oh, what?
No, Amy.
Oh, okay.
As we're walking, Mina's gonna just kind of point towards Gideon and say, "You clocked her touching Hattie, right?"
I did. There are very strange things afoot that I'd like to conversate with everyone about.
Fair.
Well, if you just go down this road here, and I'll take you to one of... We don't really have inns, as we don't get visitors, but we do have halfway houses, almost. Abandoned properties that fall under the state's control, and then we give to the next family or such. We have a few of those available. Usually for our shorter-lived Siltharians. And then she points, and that is the manor house. And when she points towards the burned down building. That was Curran's home. He brought it down and burned it right before he became known as the Marauder. I'm sure that some of you have heard, perhaps since you had worked with Curran before, of what happened to his family. But his family was murdered, and he turned his whole house into a pyre. Then he left. To never return. But my father did. Anyway, what my father means by pay homage to it is just treat it with respect. It is important to us.
Of course.
Easy enough for us to do.
And they, Lowellena, and you see now that the guards have kind of left you alone now. There's a few still around, but no longer are they rangers. It's kind of the city guard. You can kind of see, just from the... I'll leave your kind of standing passive, Gideon, is... kind of how it works is the city kind of keeps... or the city guard, if you will, the army, keeps peace in the city, in the actual city, and they kind of do, they're kind of a police force, if anything else. You can imagine that a city like this that's so isolated doesn't have a lot of crime outside of the few things that, I got too drunk, so I hit somebody in the face. Yeah,
domestic disputes.
Like yeah,
somebody getting a little too weird.
Yeah, a few things like that. While the Rangers tend to handle external threats. And which is why you were being guarded and moved by the Rangers and not the actual army. From what you can probably also think is like you put that in D&D perspective, they're probably a little bit more powerful, right?
Mm.
So that's kind of the relationship you see there.
So
and now,
you mentioned the.
sorry, I was just going to say you're approaching one of those houses she was talking about.
Okay. As we're approaching, I wanted to ask. So you mentioned maybe having us do a favor.
Oh, well, everybody has to work. Part of the, part of the deal. Kind of.
What kind of work would be available to us?
Depends. We will talk about that later at a different time. Find skill sets, things you could do, farming or beast taming or anything. But if you wish, you can stay here. You can shop. There's a beach. You can go to the beach if you wish and relax. It's up to you. But we will talk more tomorrow.
Yo, beach episode, let's go.
Hell yeah!
Is there anything else? If you need anything, please just stop any of the guards, and they will help you.
Wonderful.
Right, man. Thank you very much.
You've been most accommodating. We thank you.
Thank you.
Of course.
I do have one question. Are any of these homesteads available, or do we choose, or do we have a certain one set aside?
You can just choose one, if you will. There's probably 3 or 4. You'll know the ones that are not occupied. The ones that are occupied typically will have a placard on the front door. If it doesn't have a placard, you are more than welcome to enter.
Very well.
Anything else? All right. I will take my leave. I must go see to my father. I have to put on the fresh pot.
Thank you, my lady. You've been most accommodating. I wish you and your father health.
Thank you. And he leaves, and it's about this time, as she's leaving, that you see Kettle begin rolling up towards you.
Hey.
Squeak, squeak, squeak.
Where have you been this whole time?
Where in the world have you been?
Word. Well, a friendly princess, I guess, picked me up. Well, first, I guess she scared me with her horn, and I started to run away. And then a shark tried to bite me, but I was able to get away from it, and she helped me out of the sand. And I guess it's the real princess. The one you were just speaking to is fake, and well, I also saw your conversation, because she helped me. Well, and I guess she could do that because of the beer I shared with you. And he kind of holds up the mugs that
Sorry, what?
had your.
Metal? That
What? Yeah, she
This is
used a
quite a lot.
spell, and I was able to watch what you were saying.
no,
It
honey,
was-
not
There's
that
quite
part.
a lot going on there. Can we break separate?
Let's break that one down a bit.
Maybe we need to talk inside
Let's.
in private.
That's what I was about to say.
That's-
Let's
I
find
would
a house
agree.
and get
He
inside.
looks around just completely blissfully unaware of the word puking in public. Oh, okay.
Perhaps there may be a place for you to cook in one of these homes.
And I'm
while
sure
we
you're all
discuss
very
this.
hungry.
I'm starving.
Yes.
Yes, I'm sure you all are. We probably should make the wisest decision based on the most accommodating place. Shall we?
And you begin to move forward towards the building. Well, any building. They're all basically the same. Arcadius.
Yes, sir.
while this kind of beginning craziness goes on, and Kettle arrives and begins word vomiting things, and everybody kind of going back and forth, trying to hush him versus trying to understand what's going on versus those things, you take the opportunity to
Slip away.
Slip away. As you slip away, you're hunting down the blue hat.
I am.
You track it, and every time you get close, it'll turn a corner, and you'll get around the corner, and it will be another 40 feet away from you. And you track it for about 10 minutes, and it's standing near a rock by the burned building.
You know a lot of things, don't you? Don't give me that shit. You've spoke before. Talk.
The cat changes form.
Oh.
And you see a beautiful woman with chalk white hair. She kind of has a small punch slightly and long, gangly fingers. Well, I know many things, dear. But a bargain was struck, and I have now completed my end of the bargain, unless you'd like to make a deal for something else.
To make a deal, I need an answer. What happened to my sister? Was that me or the despoiler?
The little lamb wishes to know his past.
You want a deal, I want an answer.
The answer can be provided. What are you willing to pay?
What do you want? He's angry at this point. Like, y'all saw him, he was sad. And then between, like, when he snorted to he slipped away, he just went from sad to fucking furious.
It's a bad trip, dude.
Man needs Xanax.
There's something written in stone. Things that cannot be changed in threads that have entwined upon your soul. That is the price I require.
To undo my
Do we
fate.
have a deal? And she extends her hand, and it's at this point you see almost like the world around you has shifted into grayscale, and her body has become slightly larger as her hand reaches out forward, just like kind of on my camera, where it's just massive in front of you.
For my fate. My fate. I want the answer. But I'd like a means to end him as well. My
For
fate,
that price,
my fate is
I
yours to
can
decide.
oblige. And as you clasp the hands, Odesh Kalara never tells a lie. And she waves her hand, and the rock gives way. First part of the bargain for the Mistress Soare. This is the nest. Second part of the bargain. Let me just pull the thread of fate. And she opens a little pouch. You don't see anything. She just Your sister. Well, you tried your best to defend her. Unfortunately, you died first, to be brought back by Hazen the Despoiler. And then, in a cruel twist of fate, that is his ilk, you turned upon her. Now, for the capability of destroying him. One such as him always has a weakness. I'll give you a small hint of finding the phylactery. Good luck finding which one. But I'll leave the cat in your care. I no longer need it. And Odesh is gone.
Schrodinger's cat pet. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And now you have a regular cat who will not speak to you.
Oh man.
Can everyone
Why
see
is
it
that in
now?
real life, dude?
Can
Just
everyone
famous.
see it now? All right, cool.
Yes,
I'm gonna just
everybody can see it now too.
I'm just
That's the
gonna
next thing. And then as that rock slides back closed. So, a few moments later, we'll just say Arcadia slips back up as you guys are just starting to wonder, where did he go?
and I got a little cat on my shoulder.
Yep, and he's got a cat on his shoulder. It's a blue cat with brilliant blue eyes and little like owl wings.
You made a friend.
When did that change? If I opt for that as well.
Yeah. I suppose
is
I
new.
made a friend.
Arcades, where did you go?
I just had to clear my mind. I remembered things I didn't want to.
Right.
And I'd
And,
say I did not warn you.
This is a cat.
Sprinkles.
Is this the guy you've spoken of before?
This was a vessel, I believe, for what I spoke to before. He's harmless now.
Is
But he wasn't harmless before.
I don't know. It can't speak anymore. And now you can see it, so
There are
yes.
many things and a lot of statements that I've heard in the past couple minutes that are worrying to me, but felines aside, we have much bigger problems.
Yes, we have a task. The woman said something. I don't know.
To be determined, I believe, based on our skill sets and abilities, but the real thing is what is wrong with the purveyor of our jurisdiction, what has befallen him, because I assure you, 2 weeks is much too quick for something of that ailment.
Looks like he's constantly eating bad fish.
Well, according to one of our metallic friends here, we have a subterfuge afoot, perhaps even some dangerous assassins that may be around. Something isn't quite right.
He did mention they were dealing with intruders. Now, I'm assuming he was talking probably just about us, but there might actually be.
Well, I suppose we should hear it from the man himself. What did she tell you? And who is she?
There's a kettle.
Yeah.
There's a kettle.
He's busy cooking up his honey glazed fried chicken.
Just looking,
Like some
I'm
beer?
gonna.
I have an order. I have an order. I need a princess that may be a spy, large,
Love.
So,
with a
so
mixture
as
bath
he's
of
cooking,
poison.
as he's cooking real quick, he's just casually explaining, yeah, I appeared in the desert and a shark attacked me. And the person that saved me explained that she was somehow replaced by some kind of doppelganger. And she looks just like the one that you were talking to with that king or leader, whatever he is.
I will say there was some odd activity going into the chamber. Mina and I both witnessed.
And she told me to meet her tonight in a secret spot. And he tries to like explain the secret rock thing.
I mean,
Cadius, you know exactly where that secret rock is.
So I figure, if we want to go talk to her, she was very kind to me. I figure I would have been lost in the desert had she not helped me.
clearly something's going on. It could be a trap.
Well, it's hard
Somebody's
to
not
tell.
telling the truth.
Right, and it's hard to tell which could be the true form.
Are you sure it's not a nestmate? I believe you call them twins?
Given the allegations, I wouldn't think so, unless one wants the other one dead. Wouldn't be the first time, I guess.
I mean, we have seen this with Mina, and he just kind of looks at Mina.
Yeah, that's what he was referencing, yeah. He's like,
Didn't we have the same issue with Corin and his brother?
yes, and kind of looks at Arcadius. Like, I just returned my patience and fervor. I don't want to bring any of that up while we're here. I suppose we just take care of the task at hand. But it is a good thing to remember that there are much higher games afoot and bigger stakes. That maybe post-haste we should resolve this as best we can.
To this secret rocker, I guess.
Well, that'll be this evening.
Yeah, it would be best undercover. Maybe at night or whatever that is around here.
We ought to have some time to rest first.
It's best not to disrespect that site as far as we were told.
So these shacks are where we rest?
There's talk of doppelgangers.
Could be, perhaps.
Apparently.
And on that note, I do have a question. Hattie, what was up with that hat Lorelena gave you in there?
Wouldn't call it a pat, more like a shove.
It most
Well,
definitely was a shove.
I don't know. I mean, I'm the only human in the group. Maybe there's something about that. I didn't see many of us walking around.
A little bit of what's the word?
Xenophobia?
Yeah, that'll work.
Maybe.
Prejudice.
I don't know.
That's the one I was looking for.
The whole thing makes me uncomfortable.
It was confusing because, I mean,
You
there
don't
was
have
that,
any.
but
You don't have anything taken or anything new on you, do you?
do I have anything new on me?
Do kind of a pat check look. Kind of. No, I don't have anything on you.
I wouldn't claim to know the plight of the doppelganger, but it'd be best to be safe because we don't know quite how they do what they do.
If she was a doppelganger, why did she save us? He was ready to blast us out of existence. What? I don't
Well,
understand
to be
why she.
fair,
We did kinda
also
drop a
invoked
name.
the name of Corin, and yeah.
Correct. And also, we are probably quite small catch, according to the game afoot. It could be much larger.
Yes. And she already mentioned how she wanted to use us.
That's right, we don't quite know the request at hand either.
Yeah.
Potentially.
What do we know about what you call them, doppel, whatever? What do we know about them? Like, what are they? What do we? They have weaknesses. And
I don't
then
know.
Asking me or you asking?
I'm asking the party.
Who would know
Okay.
anything?
I mean,
Roll for
Would
that.
anybody know anything?
Everybody
As a-
in that other campaign.
someone
Yeah,
wise
Yes,
once
my brother,
told
hold
me, or someone wise once told me
Hello, Drowsy?
everyone has a
Drowsy,
weakness.
I know you think I'm dead, but I got a question real quick.
Why don't we go ahead and roll
I was gonna say
history or nature, whichever is higher, and then tell me what
history of nature.
what
Same.
exactly
Is this
you-
everybody?
Yeah, this is everybody. 'cause you're all
11.
kind of talking about it at the same
Oh,
time.
snap.
25 for
15 minus
Damn.
1, 14.
That was a 19 history.
I got an 18 history.
19
Edel
history.
over here. He's had some deals with
Hey,
doppelgangers before.
So, from the history perspective of the things, you know that doppelgangers are generally used as spies or ways to perform subterfuge and things like that. Sometimes assassinations, not a lot of times assassinations. That's not their specialty. Their specialty is kind of infiltration, stealing secrets, you know, and then leaving, right? They can change shape. They can become whatever they need to be. One of the things that they also bring to the table is some of the older lived doppelgangers and some of the more kind of specialized doppelgangers can actually withdraw memories to perfectly mimic the person they are taking the place of, if it is like somebody who's an important figurehead or something like that. From the nature side of things, you know that changelings tend to be kind of almost hedonistic in nature. They can be swindlers. They can be, there's a lot of things. They look after their own skin a lot of times, unless they have something being held above them. Like they're not gonna they'll give up the game to save their own skin a lot of times, unless there's something preventing them to do that, like, oh, my doppelganger family is being held captive or something, and then, they're going to try every option to get away from situations. You also know that they are classified as a monstrosity with that 25. Yeah.
But we can't assume. There are many creatures out there that can do this, and many magics as well. We need hard proof that is what we're dealing with, if there's some way to gain that.
How do we get it if they look the same? That's the issue at hand, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, one more thing that I should have mentioned with that, because you said you got 25 on that?
Yes.
They can read thoughts.
Oh.
Oh.
Grand.
I mean, we've got bigger fish to fry. Should we even get involved? This could be dangerous for us.
Something tells me we don't have much of a choice.
Well,
Probably right.
If we want to
Especially
fry
Brownie,
those fish, we have to leave, and to leave, we...
Correct.
We
we
didn't.
won't have a
Yeah.
choice if we go near them again, if they can read our thoughts.
Don't know.
Well, we have to, again, just as in the situation we're being observed, we must assume that anyone can be and anyone can do those things, and keep that in mind as we move forward. Short of
We'll keep this in
killing each other,
mind.
of course.
I don't know.
mean, should we come up with some kind of a phrase, a word that only we know, just to make sure if we get split up, find each other again, we're
Might I
talking who we should be.
Might I suggest a gesture to be safe, and
Well,
with our memories in question, that is going to be quite hard.
what about
Unless
something we
they
can
read our
carry
thoughts.
with us?
Perhaps.
They can't mimic an item we have, right?
I don't know. Was there anything definitive, Kettle, that might have stuck out to you between the two? Clothing item, tattoo, scar, anything of the sort?
Oh, well, the one that helped me did have an interesting little brooch that I've seen people around here wearing the same one.
So it is in the realm of possibility that we could wear something.
Did the other one have a brooch? Did anyone look?
At the time, I don't think we were paying enough attention to that.
Do any of us remember her wearing one?
No. You do not.
Warrants a second look, I think.
Well, we do have the request coming for whatever work is ahead of us.
We'll
We will be
meeting
very
tomorrow.
close.
Yeah.
I think we rest tonight. No one should leave each other, I think, for now, right?
I think that's safe, yes.
Yeah, Arcadius, no more wandering off, please.
I apologize.
Well, especially given the trust that need to be gained. Probably not good in your favor currently.
I apologize again. Some
Well, no
things...
apology necessary, just security.
I'm curious as to what happened to the one inhabiting your cat.
Yes,
I
that
am as
kind
well.
of worries me too.
Because we're in a brand new city. Talking about
Yeah.
doppelgangers, and suddenly you up and disappear and come back something new?
If it makes you feel better, you can hold on to my weapons. Two of you can stay where I stay. Keep an eye on me.
Well,
I
I
pet-
don't think
I
the
pet it.
doppelganger can replicate a cat.
I pet the cat.
Especially not the cat that you described previously.
I suppose that's true. Maybe we need to rest, but I'd still like a better explanation.
A good night.
I would highly advise rest, especially for those two.
Yeah, a good amount of sleep will help us all think more clearly.
And prayer will help me think clear. Much needed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that might be a good idea.
Food and sleep, yes.
I would be willing to
should we-
talk with you later, Hattie, if you really feel that way.
Should we meet our new friend before we
No.
sleep?
I could mediate, of course, if you guys are worried.
That is good points.
it's gonna
Are
be
we
more like
going
a
to be
daytime nap.
meeting-
Because it's still morning, isn't it?
Middle of the day, yeah.
Oh yeah, dawn.
Yeah.
It's
Oh.
dawn.
So,
Yeah, so we have plenty of time to...
The lady did say that we were free to roam about if we want to check things out, as it were, with each other. Maybe no more debt. We did just clear that.
Is,
No, I see. There was a necromancer that uncleared it.
And perhaps no more magic items. At least
Maybe
things
you
that
should
aren't
have an
used.
escort.
Ah,
I think everyone should be everyone's escort. The buddy
is
systems
anyone
work
still
quite well.
kind of hurt?
Yeah,
I've got
Oh,
9
yeah.
hit points.
A little.
they're not great.
I'm okay, but I intend to go to one of the cabins and rest for a while to get my fucking spell slots back.
Yeah, I need to also. I got... skirt's the most hurt, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, I have
You're
20
going-
HP
Well,
now.
That's
Depending on how
Too
late the
late,
city stays up,
17. Cure wounds. Heal 17.
we could wander the city at
And I
night,
heal 19.
Yes.
get some
I got
sleep
no
now.
spell slots now.
That might not be a terrible idea, especially if we're trying to have a meeting in the evening.
Indeed, it'd be more. I mean, it'd make more sense for. Make more sense, I suppose, if we're out at night. You know, wandering around shopping and then we may meander our way over to what, the manor house? Is that what that's what they called it?
Yes.
Yes, and it's also been quite a long day. I mean, we started off just traveling into a horde and dragons and bamfed into a different place, finding Corin, coming back, dealing with that.
Yes.
Yes, it's
Arrested,
much-
The spoiler, Haziz.
physically angry again.
Oh, my bad.
This
It's been a
motherfucker.
long day.
I
could
intend to
use a
rest my mind and my body to be prepared for this evening. And
I
I'll
agree.
walk toward
I
whatever
agree.
fucking houses or whatever. I'll just go toward one.
Yeah. You guys, well, I've had the assumption that you guys have been inside.
That's what I did. Yeah. That we
Yeah.
found.
Oh, yeah.
Not
Because
in the
Kettle's
middle of the
cooking.
street. Yeah, because Kettle's cooking and stuff. So you just go over to one of the side rooms, and there are beds. It's nothing fancy, right? But there are beds. There are places to sleep and crash and live in. It's a bit small for all of you guys, but
Hey, I'm just setting up prayer blankies.
I have a
Chilling.
I was about
question.
to say,
All I need is this corner to sit in.
yeah, Malachi and Kettle. Actually, honestly, since like 3 of you guys don't need to do much, you're probably pretty good. Actually, now that I think about it.
A long rest only
as long as
requires
you
us
just, 8
to
hours.
rest for 8 hours. It doesn't mean we have to sleep, right?
right. It's yeah.
So
yes, and
Inactivity
no.
for 8 hours is usually what
Inactivity
I'm
for
saying.
8
So
hours.
if I
there
went
are
in
some
there and
things
just
that-
sat on the bed and stared at the wall for 8 hours, it'd be fine.
I mean, yes and no. So technically, that doesn't count as because it follows the same rules as like real life a little bit, right? If you stared at a wall for 8 hours and then you got up and was like, "All right, I'm ready to go for the day," you're still
Time
fucking.
for
Well,
another day.
what about
Like,
so if I go in there and lay on the bed and just like don't go to sleep, but just like lay and eyes closed and shit, is that okay?
Yeah, that.
Okay,
yeah, that'd
that's
be,
what I'm
like,
doing.
you
I'm
go to
just
sleep, but like
fucking in
your
there.
mind is
Racing, yeah.
basically for the it's like twilight sleep or like you're thinking of
Right.
stuff like only for the ones that are like specific, like like elves,
Yeah.
right? They enter a meditative trance. They can think of stuff and be active and stuff like that and get that same benefit as a rest. Warforged the exact same way.
I go
Right?
zombie
They go
mode.
into like
yeah.
a powered down mode, I think.
Yeah.
And then they
Yeah. We're still fully aware of everything around
Inactive,
us.
motionless
We're
state
just
for
yeah.
6
Just on
hours.
standby.
Well,
Speaking of which, Malachi's going to do that right in front of the door.
I am the barrier.
well, I asked
so
for
Arcadius is
sorry, I asked that for a reason because like after everything, I think he wouldn't want to dream.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's
It was
fair.
like lucid dreaming almost. Yeah, you're good.
Tamina's gonna creep up towards well, not creep, but walk towards Arcadius and say,
Blood.
if you're not wanting to have dreams right now, I
True.
could use
The
a
dream
meal.
eater.
Then take them from me. I need the rest,
Please
and
don't
then
say
I
that
will
name.
go ahead and go to sleep.
I'll say a meal.
I give her full permission at this point because I don't want to see it.
25
Good
more
luck.
pounds of fried chicken.
And Gideon looks straight at Hattie and says,
25.
"Was it enough?"
You're muted.
Hattie mouths quietly to herself. That and more.
Good. I hope it satiates the revenge you had. Maybe you won't carry a demon like others.
I think it does. He got what he deserved.
Well, I suppose that's what matters in the end. I mean, by numbers, it's not fair, but as long as it's something that satiates the revenge, that's what matters.
I mean, he was just the first step, Gideon. I ain't done.
I wouldn't assume you to be, but that's how those things go, right?
Suppose.
I just think it wise to remember that eventually those steps do end and there is a fall.
Well, it ain't happened yet. So far, it's just been worth it.
Yeah, many times it seems that way.
Have you considered you might be wrong about it?
Well, I consider myself wrong all the time.
Then maybe you're wrong about this.
Yeah, well, wrong only shows itself when the answer is provided. Right now, all I operate on and all I've ever operated on is faith. And I know that's something that is difficult in your situation, and I don't claim to be anywhere near that as any type of hypocrite. But I'd rather see you happy and alive than at the dead inside of, well, which we're quite literally looking at now. Don't end up like me.
I don't know, Gideon. I'm awful happy now. Maybe you could try a bit of this. Might make you feel better.
Happiness is very easily confused with spite in these situations.
Maybe. Regardless, it's got to be better than what you're feeling now.
That's the thing. I don't feel much. I don't want you to end up like me. Because you will wish for death, more than anything. And I would very much wish life for you.
I appreciate that, Gideon. But keep an open mind.
That's what I could do at the very least. But you know me, I'm very pragmatic.
You are the definition of pragmatic. You know, Arcadius probably wanting the same thing I do. Revenge.
Redemption, perhaps. Solace. But Arcadius, again, finds himself on the other side of the line with me.
What do you mean?
There are two types of fated people that I see it. Those who make it alive, and us. You see, these stories don't end well, and I don't want this idea of life to creep in anybody's mind. When I'm gone, and I will be gone, much as Arcadius may as well, though I wish I had a brighter future for him. Purpose drives and continues, thrives even. That's what we are here for. That's what the gods amend and abide. Even though you feel forsaken, even though you feel revenge, even though you have these dark thoughts and hatred is taken over, you should know behind that is a scared love and compassion. And that's what drives Arcadius. And that's what I suppose drives me. Because it's the only thing I feel for this party that prevents me from going completely insane and leaving you all. Quite honestly.
Could be better for you. Just up and go. I don't even know if Arcadius is what you say he is. At every step of the way, he proves us wrong.
Those things are correct. We don't know what Arcadius is, and we don't claim to know the inner workings of his mind or heart. One thing I can assure you is you are correct in the idea that it could be about me. It could very easily be about me. But it's not. This is about us all. And this exact topic is about you. And us all. Don't be the anchor that weighs us down and drowns us. When I'm trying so desperately to pull us back up.
Maybe you're wrong. Maybe down's where we need to go.
I assure you it's not.
I guess we'll find out.
I suppose we will. But for the time being, all negativities and assertions aside, like I said, love is behind everything, no matter how damaged or hurt. Do you understand?
I can try to.
So all we ask is faith, balance.
Right. Now I've got an equally as intense talk with Arcadius coming up. I might try to get some rest before that.
Well, I wish to say a story behind you both, and I hope that that doesn't strain the relationship at all. Like I said, I do still wish to mediate, and I am here for the party and you all. Don't take anything I've said as negativity or attacks. Far from it.
I appreciate that, Gideon.
And as your two's conversation comes to a close, Mina, you sit there and kind of begin feasting on Arcadius's dreams. Arcadius, you sleep very peacefully. Mina, the only thing you really get, a lot of times when you eat dreams, right, you see flashes, or Gideon's a little abnormal where you see and are like immersed into shit. These are kind of like usually like almost like flashcard memories that you'll see. The only thing you get from Arcadius is you continue to hear the same voice. Arcadius, why? Arcadius, why? Arcadius, why? No images with it, just the words repeating over and over and over again. But Arcadius, you get your original goal was to not sleep, but you were so relaxed, and for the first time in a while, you don't feel anything, and you just out like a light. The rest of you slowly begin to bed down. Skirt is swallowing fish whole, I think, from a bowl.
I couldn't find one for chicken, but yeah, he's whatever Kettle has made. He's eating a shit ton of.
So you may all begin to just drift off to sleep and hit that long rest button.
Okay.
I can be reckless again.
I get new experimental elixirs.
I am
I
going
haven't learned my
to.
lesson.
I'm going to absolutely hug the shit out of Mina the next time I see her.
Physical
Me when you
contact.
wake up.
There.
And I'm just feel like, thank you.
Wait a second.
Mina.
That wasn't my max HP. What happened?
You sent your ghost, just so everybody knows, because I don't know if they read chat, but your ghost is tailing Loelena, for everybody. And you go ahead and wake up refreshed and ready for the meeting. And Arcadius is giving you a big hug. But before then, or before we leave, Hattie, you wished to talk to Arcadius real quick. So you guys take a quick second, you kind of pull to the side while people are just beginning to kind of get ready to go.
Arcadius, I want you to tell me what happened.
Okay.
The truth.
It will be. Because I think you're the only one who can semi-understand why I did what I did. And why I have a cat.
That's new, yes.
Well, what I saw with that dust Monkhop gave me. I saw I had a sister. But I saw what I was made to do to her as well. I told you she's no longer with us.
You did, yes.
That was by my hand. Not my control, but my hand. And it hurt to see that, but it made me so angry. I want to take care of the ones who made me do this. Not just Aziz, but them all. I understand your hurt as well, I think now. But I don't want to be angry about this. So, at the cost of my fate, I know that it was not me who killed her, but I was only a tool. And I have a heading to take care of my creator. I will need help. I know I'll need help, but it's not because I'm angry. It's because I don't want anyone else to deal with what I've had to. I don't want anyone else to hurt how I've hurt. And I don't want tomorrow to be as dark as today, if that makes sense to you. I don't think anyone else could understand making a deal with what everyone told me not to, but you. But I did. I don't care what happens to me. I care that this is resolved for tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after, and those who have to live in the future that I leave behind, we leave behind. So it's not... I've seen you angry. But be angry for the right reasons, I think. I know that I'm part of the blight that Gideon mentioned. And I just want to rub that stain off this world. So the cat's fine.
You're right.
And no one else has a price to pay for this but me. And it's a price I'm willing.
You're right. I do understand. I do. I know what that's like, and getting revenge was the most satisfying thing I ever did.
It won't be for
I'll
long.
help you with that.
Revenge won't be what satiates you for long. It needs to be something more, because revenge ends. That feeling will fade.
If you say so, but...
It will. I know it will.
I'm not sure
Revenge.
if the others would understand like I do. I've heard them talking, whispering. They still don't trust you.
They don't have to.
Gideon especially. And especially if you tell them what you did.
I mean...
I would be cautious with them.
I will. And I won't hold back information. I didn't know how to explain this yesterday. And I knew that things are tense. But I would like your help and the others eventually with this. But I know that I can't let it be for revenge. I can't. Revenge ends, but securing a future doesn't.
I can respect that.
And
you have my help.
I respect your anger and understand it. We'll deal with things as they come, I think.
I think so. My warning still stands, though. I'm not sure they'd get it. Or they'd not think poorly of you for it.
So nothing would change.
That's fair. Don't go sneaking off anymore.
Well, at least not for now, with the doppel thingy.
You sure you ain't it?
I mean, you could kill me if you want.
I think I've done enough of that today. One's good enough.
We should head out with them, though. I've been to the rock they talk about. It's somewhere I need to be as well, I believe.
Good, then you can lead the way.
That would be suspicious, I believe. I'll just follow the metal man.
Kettle. Kettle's pretty. Everyone likes Kettle. It's the best idea. Actually, he was gone for a while. We sure it ain't him? I'm nervous.
Can you doppel a metal man?
Good point. Probably not.
Can you gang a doppel of metal men?
And I'll just kind of like, after you, back to the rest.
That he'll go.
And so you rejoin the group. If there's anybody else wanted to have conversations real quick, or
Mina, when she has a chance, she'll sneak out through the window and crawl up to the roof.
Motherfucker.
Vision.
fair enough. Easy enough for you.
We just talked about sneaking away.
I'm
didn't
not
even have a
going
safe word yet.
anywhere. I'm still here. I'm just pulling out a specific book while I'm here.
Oh yeah, that's a smart move. Going the ire of
Alarms blare throughout the city the moment the book opens.
So you get to the top of the roof, and you pull out the book, and you open the book, and it is blank. There are no words. There is no feeling. There is nothing.
Okay.
As you then feel this sense of loss and knowledge that the other you did something just before they left.
Got dobbled.
Oh, fuck.
And while some items can be duplicated in appearances, they are so powerful and legendary, if you will, that only one of them can exist on the planes.
Whoopsie.
Mina's gonna keep that to herself and pull out the pretty coin she found too, and examine it.
Which coin was this one?
This was while we were in that layer, and I rolled a 7 and got that coin. Gosh, where are you?
Yes, the blood gold one, right? Was that the one?
I believe so. I have notes. It's somewhere.
Yes.
Just don't know where.
The blood gold one. You pull out the coin, and it's kind of gotten a reddish yellow hue to it, right? Like golden yellow and then red hue to it, and it has these runes that have been etched along the edge of the coin. There is something very powerful attached to this. Roll an Arcana check.
I'll be right back.
Yep.
Arcana. That is a solid 24.
This You know exactly what it is. This is a soul coin.
Ooh.
This coin contains a soul or souls of someone whose deal went bad. Usually with a demon, a hag, even sometimes even an angel, or much like soul gems, somebody was forced into it by a powerful practitioner of magic.
Okay. Can I tell if there's some soul inside of it now? Okay, and you said there are runes on it. I don't suppose she can read any of them, can she?
Your Arcana. 24.
Yes, 24.
From
I was moving forward like that would make me hear you better.
No, yeah, right. The runes that you can gather are kind of a rune of warding. They keep whatever's inside of the object locked in place so that they or whatever's on the inside can't escape itself. It has to be let out or released. Also with that Arcana check, you would know that soul coins also are like a very, like from a currency standpoint, really primo on in Avernus.
Okay. Cool. Would she know would she know how to release what's inside? And B, would she be able to communicate with what's inside us at all?
You could try.
Hello?
Feel a pull. Hello?
Oh, that worked.
Where am I?
Well, you were in my pocket. That's right now kind of deep underground. Who are you?
I don't know. I was lost, kind of. It's been a while.
In a while? Do you know how long?
No. Who are you?
Well, I'm Mina. I just happened to find you in my pocket.
What am I?
That's a great question. What do you think you are?
Well, I'm Valentina.
Valentina.
Valentina Darrow.
Does that name sound familiar to Mina at all?
But
All right, Valentina.
now that you say that, the voice sounds familiar. In fact, you've been hearing it for the past while. Continue to say Arcadius Y. Arcadius Y. Arcadius Y for the last 8 hours.
Oof.
And that, my friend,
Big oof.
will leave tonight's episode.
Oh shit.